Thursday, right? So I am getting ready to go into my live Zoom of the Sacred Movement Circle in just a few minutes. So I wanted to pop on here and talk about a little bit of healing that has arisen. I know that we're not all of us, but some of us are going through this really challenging time. And it seems like we might be stretching and moving within our own skin, trying to stretch our skin, trying to push forward and break out of that membrane that we have around us, or the energy that's acting like that membrane, right? And so in thinking about this Scorpio season and how we can dive really deep into those depths and move in that watery place within ourselves and within the world and rise up to take a breath. Someone asked about a certain type of medicine, skunk medicine. And so I thought, okay, let me tune into skunk medicine and see, what's calling, because that really resonated with me when they were talking about this. And so it was on my Instagram live on Monday, Awakening Mondays. And so I decided, let's talk about skunk, right? And I think that was Lee. So thank you, Lee, for that. Skunk medicine. Skunk teaches us self-respect, self-esteem, confidence, assertiveness, teaches us sensuality, and the bringing up of the openness to expecting respect and how to give respect, right? Almost in that way of commanding respect. Now, think about what that means in your life and where you feel like you're allowing the boundaries to soften around your respect, and you're feeling that maybe someone's trampling on you, or that you're not quite getting for yourself, you're not respecting yourself to move in a way that you need to move. Okay, so if you feel like you're fighting against the energy, or like a salmon swimming upstream, or it's really that wave of pushback for you, ask yourself, well, what do I need to do right now? For me personally, what always works for me, and sometimes it takes me a minute to get into it, is moving my physical body, grounding myself into the present and moving my physical body. And not just a couple of shoulder rolls, but dancing, running, yoga. If I'm really feeling, that energy, the frequency of my energy kind of settling, like sediment, and I need to raise it up, then I need to move a lot. So that's running or dancing for me. And if you want to join in with me today at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to, so that's just in 30 minutes, we're going to do a Sacred Movement Circle. And you can find that at melissavirtue.com. And it's kind of going to be a taste of a course that I'll be offering in November. But we're going to raise our Shakti, raise our Kundalini. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. So wear comfortable clothes, bring your water, get ready to move, and skunk. So going back to skunk. So for me, I need to move, I need to dance, I need to raise that energy and allow it out, right? Because when we start raising the frequency of our energy, we start opening and expanding, and it starts shifting and attuning and reaching all of those places that like holds on and brings in the light, that allows the magnetism of the higher vibration to come in, and we begin weaving with it and connecting with it, right? So in speaking about that, skunk has stripes. There are some skunks that have dots down their back, and but I've been guided to speak about skunk with the stripes down its back. Sometimes there's a single line and sometimes a double line, but that represents Kundalini. And that's where the sensuality comes in, among other things. But I'm being guided to talk about, how skunk teaches us this respect, and to raise our Kundalini, respect ourselves, open our vibration, raise our kundalini, move in the way that we need to at our own pace. And that's what skunk does. Skunk does not care what animal is coming towards it or around it, behind it, in front of it, anywhere. Skunk doesn't move out of the way of any animals. And skunk moves at its own pace, its own speed, its own timing, with its own mind, right? So this is where I think about taking in what resonates with you from other sources, your highest self, your heart compass, and leaving the rest. Okay, if someone says something to you that really resonates, take that. That's truth for you. That is mirroring truth for you. And then maybe they say something else that doesn't resonate, leave that, because that doesn't fit right now. And maybe never will, maybe it will later. But take what resonates for you and leave the rest. So, skunk has its own mind and moves at its own pace. So again, it goes back to that, respecting our own pace, our own timing, our own mind, our thoughts, our own connection, our heart opening, our compass, right? Skunk also teaches you how to recognize your assertive qualities and how to action your assertive qualities, your assertiveness, right? Again, it's about that being self-assured and confident within yourself and your own pace, your own time, your messages you're receiving, trusting them, acknowledging them, acting upon them, okay? So again, reiterating, skunk doesn't move out of anybody's way. Skunk continues to move forward in the way that skunk needs to move forward. And what I love too is that skunks are black and white, right? Most of them. And the black reminds me of that void, that celestial womb where all possibilities are possible. Everything is possible. And then we have that white line. And that white line representing, to me, I see the Milky Way, in the skunk's back. The Milky Way being all the stars and stardust and all of that life and light that lies there waiting to awaken and rise up. But also it's Kundalini, same thing, rising within us. Now, skunk's really interesting as that it's fearless, yet peaceful. So it's asking us, be fearless. Fearless, what your fearless is, your truth of fearlessness. Be fearless, but peaceful as you're being fearless. So again, I think about some people that get in other people's faces, figuratively and literally, and they think they're being fearless and they're shouting, or they're just getting very, holy in that way. But skunk is peaceful and fearless, right? It's this pow, I am, and I will not move out of other people's way because I have my path. And so I don't think, it's not creating an obstacle for other people. It's, this is my path and I will follow it. And no matter who is around and who wants to join me or be parallel to me, right, be next to me and me support them as well, this is my path, right? And I'll be peaceful about it. I don't need to shout. I don't need to set anything on fire. It's working from the heart. It makes me think of the heart being fearless, but within your heart. So if you have decisions to make coming up, be fearless with your communication. This is the card I drew for today. So being fearless about your communication, your truth, fearlessness about your truth, fearlessness about the communication that you need to either emote, that you need to speak with your body language, that you need to speak with your vocal cords, in your actions, right? Fearlessness in a peaceful manner from the heart, because the heart is, to me, always peaceful. It always works from that compassion, that grace. So skunk not only helps us connect to the Kundalini and raising our energy when we're feeling that stretching within the skin, going back to that. And, like we're fighting upstream a little bit. So listen, raise your vibration with movement and listen to what your body is telling you. The body never lies. It's very honest and truthful if we stop and take a moment to listen, to tune in and say, okay, what is my instrument of light, my temple of light telling me? What do I need to do? Maybe this is going back to what we've been talking about the last few weeks, an action time or a non-action time. Perhaps my action's different than I normally do. Perhaps instead of work, 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 I need to go run. I need to go move. I need to roll on the floor like a hedgehog. I know we're not talking about hedgehog, but skunk does that too. That's what they gave me. So maybe it's, you know, this kind of feeling. You know, maybe your action is writing, journaling. Maybe your action is something different than what you usually do in your rhythm. So listen to that. Skunk is also about the balance of the sun and moon, the solar and lunar, the god and goddess, the masculine and feminine, divine, right? It's about the balance of that, the light and darkness, okay? Now, the last thing that I'm going to say about skunk before I hop off of here for the Sacred Movement Circle today. And again, I hope you join me. And if you haven't subscribed, please do, so you can be sure to keep up and we can connect. I would love that. You can also email me at awakening@melissavirtue.com and see my events at melissavirtue.com because I have some coming up that are exciting. So the last thing I want to mention is skunk helps us with people that we feel a charge with, or that we feel slightly irritated by, someone that might be irritating us or maybe trying to poke at us, someone that feels irritating, trying to poke at us, try to push our buttons. And the buttons, okay, so we have buttons. We're still working through those layers, of course. And maybe your buttons aren't really buttons anymore. Maybe they're just, you know, little bells. But the point is that skunk helps us work and balance, helps us deal with people that we might find a little bit irritating or situations that we feel irritating. And so call on skunk. How do you do that? Just say, okay, I'm asking for skunk medicine to arrive. I'm asking, and you can visualize skunk. You can just call up on skunk by saying, I'd love to work with skunk medicine or skunk healing, skunk magic. I call it skunk magic. The medicine, the healing, the magic. You can just say that because, of course, you're connected to all that is, right? You are that. So you can call on that if you're in a situation or talking with a person that might be a little bit much for you in that moment. And there's a lot more about skunk that skunk teaches and brings us, but this is what I've been guided to share today. So remember, speak your communication, your truth, no matter what waves and watery places you're moving through, okay? That blue, bringing in that blue wave of calm, and knowing that, again, you have your team of light around you. You can ask your guides before you go to bed. You can call on skunk before you go to bed, and skunk will bring you those dreams, those pieces of information that you need to integrate or to come up and out. But really, skunk is like this, like the angel. Skunk will really help you smooth and calm the way with someone that you find a little bit much or that situation. So, raising the Kundalini, I'll leave you with that stripe of skunk, of that beautiful, beautiful white glistening stripe. That raising of Kundalini. Find a way today to do that for yourself. So many blessings, and thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you, my live Instagram on Monday, Awakening Mondays with me, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, have a beautiful, blessed, lovely weekend. And I wish you so much happiness and joy, many blessings and delight for your day.